Hey, what's going on, guys? Tarek here, and welcome to another After Effects tutorial. Now today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make realistic looking clouds in After Effects. So before we get started, let's go ahead and take a look at what we'll be making. Okay, so basically what we got there is we got some fractal noise and kind of color corrected to look like it's in a sky. You know, you got your sun. And I'm going to be showing you guys how I got that effect. Now, I'm very proud of this one because I haven't seen anyone else use it yet. I haven't seen anyone else do a tutorial on it. And trust me, I looked around for a while. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with a new composition. And we're going to make that 720. I was working on something earlier, so we're going to make that 1280 720, that standard HD. And we're going to rename this to Clouds. You know, just leave it at Clouds. Okay, so we got our composition, and we're going to keep that at full since it's not a very powerful effect. We're just going to leave it on full the entire time, so you won't have to worry about that. So we're going to start off with the new solid. So we're going to make this as realistic as possible. So we're going to make the sky look realistic as well, and it's kind of a pale blue. It's not too deep like that. It's more of something more along the lines of that, and go ahead and hit OK. We'll call this, I guess we'll just call this Sky BG, which stands for Sky Background. Okay, that's looking pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and make another solid. Now we're going to make sure this stays the same color, because this is going to be a big, this is definitely a big part of it. So we're going to call this Fractal Cloud. Oh. Cloud 1. Because we might have multiple, so we're just going to go ahead and have it numbered anyway. So here in the effects and presets, which if you don't have that open, you're going to want to go to Window, and you're just going to turn that on, or Control 5, and that's going to bring up this window right here, which is the effects and presets. It'll have all your little effects and presets right here. You're just going to type in fractal noise, and you're going to drag and drop that onto the fractal cloud. So we got this kind of like weird distorted energy looking thing. So we're just going to mess with the settings a little. We're going to go to, instead of basic, we're going to dynamic progressive, which is going to kind of have this bubbly look, this more puffy kind of lava looking, black like ashy lava looking look. So we're going to turn up the contrast, and we're going to turn down the brightness, and we're going to go ahead and hit F4, and we're going to change that to screen. Now you can already see this effect kind of start to happen. You can mess with it by turning down the contrast, and mess with it by turning up the brightness and all that. So if you mess around, I'm sure you'll find something that looks nice. So we've got our fractal cloud. Now if you want to single out certain parts, what you can do is you can take this pen tool right here, and you can just kind of make a little mask. Now how I got those curves was I had it set to Roto Bezier. Now make sure you have that set to Roto Bezier before you make your mask if you want it to be rounded out. So if I turn it off real quick and I make a mask and I turn it on, it's still gonna make the mask jagged. But if you want it to be rounded like how I did, you're gonna want to make it before you make the mask, or you're gonna want to make it. You want to turn that on before you make the mask, and then you're just gonna kind of feather the mask out a little, just so it doesn't cut off anything. Okay, see, that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna go and get rid of the mask because I'm gonna be showing you guys how to keyframe it to make it look like it's coming up to you. So first off, we're gonna start with the evolution. So the evolution is gonna change kind of the distortion look, and if you slow that down, it looks like changing clouds, because clouds are not definite shapes. So you're going to alt click the stopwatch right here, which is going to turn on the expression box, and you're just going to type in a simple expression, no caps or anything, times, or I think it's called an asterisk. I don't know what that is. I just call it the times symbol, and you're going to type in 15, and what that's going to do is it's going to make it rotate. It's going to make the evolution rotate 15 times per second, or 15 times per second. So if we go to 1 second right here, which is 30 frames, So over 30 frames, it's going to rotate over 15 times on the evolution, or it's going to go 15 degrees every second. My bad, 15 degrees, not 15 times. That'd be crazy. So every second, it's going to rotate 15 degrees. So if you look at it over time, it's slow and gradual, and it makes it kind of more realistic. So that's that, and we're going to go ahead and go to our transform settings, and this is where we're going to start actually getting more into the moving part. So if you go to your scale right here, it's set to 100 already. If you move it around, you can see what I'm talking about. You're going to have one keyframe here, and if you hit U, you can see your expression box where you typed it, and you can see your keyframes. And it'll show all of them when you hit U. So basically, you're going to go all the way down to the end of your composition, which I forgot to say, I set mine for 7 seconds. That's just kind of where it was at, so I decided to go with it. And you're going to, excuse me, you're going to move it up a little bit. Not too much. You don't want it to show too much, or you don't want it to get too big. So basically, you've got this gradual moving clouds coming to you. And it's slow, and because clouds don't always go fast. If you want it to go faster, you just scale it up, and then it moves. So you're just gonna have it scale, and it's gonna change, and it's gonna look really nice. So now we're gonna go into making the sun part of it. So there are two ways you can do this. The way that was in the actual video I did with a plugin, but I'm gonna show you how to make it without the plugin first. So we're gonna create a new solid. We're going to call it sun. Doesn't matter the color for this one. And we're going to go ahead and type in circle. Oh. Circle. And it should be under generate. And you're going to drag and drop it onto that. So now you're going to go ahead and type in here radial fast blur. Which you can just type in radial and you'll see it. But type in radial fast and it's right there. So you can kind of already see what's going on. Now, if you want to move the position of the circle, and you want the position of the sun to move, like the actual rays to move, you have to move the that as well. You kind of want to have it centered every time. I normally set it to brightness, and then I turn it up, because if you set it to the other setting, what it does is it fades it out, and I'm not a big fan of the fade. I like that, and you can turn it up as high as you want. You can make it smaller. You can make the circle smaller, and really start to kind of make it look like a sun. You can change the color of it to a more pale yellow, so that it looks even more like a sun. And you can put it behind the fractal cloud, so that it kind of shines behind it and stuff like that. Just so it looks a little more realistic and stuff. And then now we're going to go ahead and do some color correcting, which is a big step in this. So you're going to make a new adjustment layer, which I just did that. And you're going to go into here and type in curves. And you're just going to drag and drop that onto the adjustment layer. For me, that's pretty good right there. So if we play through that, as it moves, which this is one of my favorite parts, the clouds don't ever block any part of the sun. The sun still kind of shines through the clouds, because remember, clouds are water vapor. They're not actual solid objects. So it's really cool how this effect works. And it looks like the clouds are moving, and it's just a really nice effect overall. I'm very proud of it, and I think that it's very useful. So now we're going to get into the part that looks a little bit better. But this is the entire this is how you do it without plugins. We're gonna go ahead and do it with plugins real quick. So we're gonna get rid of the sun, and we're gonna get rid of this on the color correction layer. So now we're gonna go ahead and make another new solid, and then again, it doesn't matter. We're gonna call this OF, and that stands for Optical Flare. So we're gonna type in here optical, and then when you type in optical flares will come up if you've actually purchased optical flares. So I'm going to drag and drop that onto my solid, and we're going to go to the options, which this is a preset flare we're going to be using, and we're going to go to monster flare. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and set this to screen, and we're going to move the position of this of the actual flare part up. And we're going to put this behind the fractal cloud again. So if you want the items, like the actual flare objects, to be more visible, just move around the flare. But basically, we have our sun right there. This part looks a little bit better. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into the color correcting stage again. So we're gonna type in here looks, which this is Magic Bullet Looks. I use this one a lot. It's a very useful tool that I think is it's definitely a nice tool to have. So when you open it up, it's got all this, you know, it's pretty bare. You don't have anything on it. They have so many good presets here. Now these are my custom presets. Oop, I didn't mean to make that. Delete that folder. Well, the folder can stay. But these are my custom presets. I have one called blue that I use, and then I just remove the diffuses. And basically what this does is it makes it more blue, as it would, because it is called blue. And then I have this little edge softness that makes it look really cool. And it looks good all together. And then I've got all these other presets as well. I got the warm vignette one, and then I've got the vibrance. The vibrance looks really nice as well whenever you remove the edge softness and you remove the diffuse. You know, it's got a nice vignette. You can remove the vignette and it's still, oh no, not whenever you do that, because it's still got the diffuse. If you remove the diffuse and stuff like that, it just looks really nice all together, in my opinion. So if you're wanting things like that, you know, you got all these really cool things. But I think the version I'm going to be using in the actual preview, I think I'm going to go ahead and use it with the curves. The curves definitely is easier than using the actual, it's easier than using looks, because looks has so much, and it's got it all watered down right there for you. You just kind of mess with it, make it look pretty. Yeah, you just mess around with the curves, and then eventually you'll get a look you like. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. And if you guys really like these tutorials, I want to know in the comments, because I do want to start sharing more of how I do things in After Effects with you guys, because I do plan to become a digital artist professionally someday. And it would be nice to know that it would be nice if you guys would let me know that you want to know more of how I do things, because then it tells me that I'm good at it, and then, you know, it just basically overall boosts my confidence in my art. So if you guys really enjoyed, leave in the comments that you enjoyed it, that it helped, leave a like and all that good stuff. And if you're new, I would appreciate it if you subscribed. That way I really know that you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video.